You know, I don't know why I like the Oceanic faction so much. Maybe it's because I'm from San Diego. Maybe it's because obviously water type's the best type of Pokemon out there. Or maybe because it's a faction that's a lot different than any other one that we have out there, relying on their health and their brute strength over just sheer speed. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Cozy Club. You guys absolutely loved the video that we did yesterday with the mythical faction. So in today's video, we're gonna be going over each and every character in the Oceanic faction. We're gonna talk about their strengths, we're gonna talk about their weaknesses, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about the cornerstone characters that are the most important to go ahead and make a very meta Oceanic team. Oceanics can easily punch up against a lot of the best teams out there. They absolutely decimate Big Hero 6, and they can do a lot more than that meets the eye. Now, Cozy Club, if you guys watched the mythical video, you know that we're primarily going to be using only Oceanic teammates today to form our best meta teams. Sure, we can use Hero Hamada and Baymax, and honestly, the Oceanics have a lot of great plug-and plays, but that's not the focus on these team series guide. We're trying to look at Club Conquest teams and overall Oceanic synergy for one of the most unique factions within the game. So get ready to soak up a lot of hits, slap ridiculous damage with Moana. It's time for today's video. All right, Cozy Club, so let's get into the Oceanic characters. Now, if you want a little bit of extra help with the Oceanics or you have any type of questions, we've got a few resources for you here at the Cozy Club. We've got the Discord down in the description. Come on, jump in, say hi. We've got a lot of people that want to help you out and your roster. If you need a little bit more help with your roster, feel free to join the Patreon family. It helps support this channel and it allows me to make the content that I do, and we've got a really killer community altogether. And then lastly, I love to test out a bunch of different teams. Been using Oceanics a good amount on Twitch lately, so if you want to come in live, say what's up, my Twitch handle is down below as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the roster of characters. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the Oceanic faction and talk about their pros, their cons, and altogether the cornerstone characters. So like any team overview and best team videos, we got to start right here with the leadership ability that we're going to be using today. Now, one of the cons we'll talk about is the Oceanic not having a ton of leaderships. They've got a lot of characters with leaderships in the faction, but the synergy is really only there for Maui. King Triton adds some offense. You have Ariel for very early game, and then Ursula, who's going to be primarily villains. But my man Maui here, he's going to bring all the synergy, give your characters a massive amount of shields, making them super thick. So let's jump into the lead. Now, Maui, he does synergize well with any characters. However, Oceanic teammates are going to get a lot more health, up to 50% more health. Now, right off the bat, we're getting about 7,000 total shield here with 50% more for those Oceanic characters, adding well over 10,000 of shield to each and every Oceanic. Now, on top of that, if Moana is a teammate, there's going to be amazing synergy there. She's going to get both defense up and haste, allowing Moana to get the first turn on the battlefield, typically every time. And it doesn't matter how fast the enemy is. This lead is going to be great for survivability. It does come with some cons that we're going to talk about in a little bit here. But really, where the secret sauce is with this lead is it's going to allow you to really soak up a bunch of damage. You're not going to be getting one shot by just about anything in the game, whether it's Hercules with 0 to hero, Zerg with the big Zerg vision, you can survive through that, not giving him an extra turn. And then finally, you can survive things like Disneyland Forever bombs, as you're just going to soak up a lot of the damage. Now, there are some pros and cons with the Oceanic faction. Looking at the pros with the health and all, they're going to have amazing survivability, incredible health. That's really what the meat and potatoes are of the Oceanics. They're not about the speed. They're about absorbing a bunch of hits, getting ready for their turn, and then unleashing hell on their opponents. So great health. They've got very solid synergy. You've got a lot of different characters in here that speak to one another with some great synergy. We're going to get to that in just a second. In addition, you're going to be putting on loads of debuffs on the enemy. They're awesome for kicking Big Hero 6's butt, and they can punch up well against just about any other team. That alone and the Oceanics are going to be, aside from just PvP, amazing in the raids. And finally, Cozy Club, they provide amazing plug-and-play ability with other teammates. But on this video, we're obviously just going to be focusing on the Oceanics and the synergy that they have. Now, looking at the pros are awesome, but let's take a look at the cons that the Oceanic faction does have. Now, they're going to be very, very slow. They're one of the slowest factions out there. They're going to be having a lot of health to compensate that. but a very slow faction out the gate. Now, a major con is with Maui giving shields to all of his teammates, they're going to be majorly vulnerable to big shield damage attacks, like Hades in his first special, Scorched Earth, is going to absolutely deal devastating damage to you. So, slow, susceptible to shield damage attacks. And finally, there is no legendary for the Oceanic faction. Now, you do have Ursula, who's pretty much just as good as a legendary character, but I'm hoping that Glue does change it with either Pirates of the Caribbean, Finding Nemo, you've got Peter Pan. There's a lot of options to bring in better units and beef up the Oceanics. We saw a majority of them come in the summer months, so maybe it sticks with the same theme and they get kind of punched back up. When we get to the summer, we get more Oceanics. But the last thing is, guys, they're a very hard faction to farm. They're not really free-to-play friendly. You've got Moana in there, Stitch from the Stitch Tower, Ursula from the raids. Maui is really hard to unlock. Outside of Bubbles and Gantu, these are probably the hardest characters for a single faction to go ahead and grind for. So that is one thing to take into consideration, but it is a team that is able to punch up, do well in Club Conquest, and you're definitely going to have some great characters for each and every game mode. All right, Cozy Club, remember that synergy that we were talking about earlier? Let's go ahead and take an in-depth look into the Oceanic roster and talk about the synergy and kind of talk about the cornerstone characters. Who are the most important Oceanics to take up and why? So right here, we've got all great ones. Davy Jones, very solid character. But your cornerstone characters are going to be Ursula, Moana, Maui, Stitch, Bubbles, and you can throw Gantu in there as well. Both Gantu and Davy Jones are both about on the same scale. Both do very well in different fights and with different teams. But your main cornerstones are going to be these 5 right here, and kind of let me tell you why. Now, you do have great synergy with Gantu. His passive is going to allow him to really counter characters very easily. He's going to keep on popping up that basic, stacking up his Galactic Armada. You've got synergy with Moana, who's going to be able to do a lot more damage with this crashing wave, which is what this team is all about. You've got Maui, who's able to steal turn meter, assist Oceanics, and obviously the big shield upgrade. And then you've got Stitch. Now, Stitch is going to do kind of go into full crazy experiment 626 mode with other Oceanics on the field. He can definitely counter Big Hero 6, but on top of that, with the Oceanics, he gets a buff up with each ability. Now, first of all, he's going to gain 20% speed meter for just using the move per each Lilo and Stitch ally, so Papa Gantu and Cobra Bubbles. And then, if he kills people with Blue Punch Buggy, he's going to gain up to 20% speed meter per Oceanic teammate, which this is kind of getting back to Ursula. Those eels that spawn with Ursula are going to count for those Oceanic teammates. So a lot of synergy here. Bubbles is going to be getting that turn meter like he always does, but on an accelerated rate with Lilo and Stitch. And altogether, they're a very well synergized squad. Now, quickly talking about the characters that we didn't touch on, you've got yourself kind of the raid characters right here. They all lack in PvP, and they're not able to do enough to land themselves on a team. King Triton, I think, deserves a rework big time. And the bottom 3 here, they're just pretty much complete trash. So with that being said, I want to go ahead. Let's jump over to the team roster. Let's show you the best 2 teams and, of course, take you into the battlefield. All right, Cozy Club, so let's go ahead and get to the exciting stuff. Let's build ourselves some of the best Oceanic teams within the game. Now, this team right here, it can punch up against literally any team within the game. With the right RNG, you can beat literally any squad out there, and it's got some amazing synergy within it. Now, let's go ahead. Again, this is going to be primarily Oceanic members on the team. We're going to go ahead and take a look. Now, first of all, you've got your taunt here with Maui. He's going to be the leadership like we talked about. And obviously, you've got the perfect duo right here with the spells to match. Now, I do plan on making a powerful duo and a powerful trio video here in the future, but both Moana and Maui, they're at the top of the pack for that video. Let me know down in the comments below if that's something that you would like to see. But one thing people don't know is the great synergy that these two have, especially with these 2 spells. Now, first of all, Grandma Tala is going to give great healing to the Oceanic faction. One of the only factions with a spell that's dedicated to it. And on top of that, Moana is going to get a free wand of free blue fairy magic to go ahead, cleanse her up, and give her harmful immunity, which is perfect because she is going to be that primary damage dealer, and you don't get all those attack downs from Hercules. Now, in addition to that, there's the big kahuna secret, the one that we haven't made a video for, and I'm going to show you guys it here today. That's going to be Peter Pan's shadow. Now, who would you shadow on this team, right? You would kind of look at this team and look, okay, most likely Cobra Bubbles, what he should have an offense stone with the Oceanic faction, and Speed Stone if he's going to be a plug-and-play character. It's going to be all about Moana. Moana's passive right here. Every single time a Maui is going to get taunt, all you've got to do is shadow a Maui with a taunt already on the field, and bam, you're going to be giving Moana turn after turn. And so you're able to shadow Maui, give yourself another tank and another taunter out on the field, and in addition, it's going to give Moana another turn. Now let's go ahead and talk about how this team works. You've got Bubbles here with the great synergy. He's going to be giving the ticket. He's going to have silence. He's going to be able to give buffs to the team. And as you take a big beating from the enemy, your Bubbles is going to stack up that turn meter, allowing you to kind of move on in the battlefield. And you can make a lot of decisions with Bubbles. You can give the ticket to Moana to have a big crashing wave, which does insane damage and able to wipe out the enemy team. Or you can go ahead and give the ticket here over to Maui, give that tactics to Maui to give him a guaranteed AoE stun, shutting down the enemy and pretty much guaranteeing yourself a victory. Now, there is some RNG if you get tactics when Bubbles starts his turn, and he does give it to Maui. Congratulations, you pretty much won the battle. And then you've got two other spots here. Let's go ahead and dive into those. Now, first of all, you do have Barley. He's going to be our one featured non-Oceanic character. We each have kind of one leeway within these videos, and Barley is going to be a perfect fit. Now, first of all, he's going to have a great basic calling basic for him. He's going to be calling up to 3 random allies, which Moana has one of the hardest hitting basics within the game and synergizes very well. He can remove taunt, but more importantly, it's going to be about Moana bombs with the Barley Bomb faction. Now, let me go ahead and tell you, Quest of Yore works perfectly with Moana because here's the thing. Crashing Wave is on a 2-turn cooldown, right? So Crashing Wave, at the very beginning of the battle, you're going to see Moana's going to get a turn. Barley's going to be able to give that Quest of Yore over to her the next turn around. She'll have Crashing Wave with a guaranteed crit, sometimes a guaranteed crit damage up, and it's going to wipe out the enemy team. Now, lastly, to go ahead and quickly get to the battle here, you do have yourself a fill spot, and this is going to be great for a lot of different reasons. Moana, if she goes down, your team is going to go down. So you want to ensure with this last spot, you either protect her extra or you bring in another offense powerhouse. So that can be Stitch. That can be a multitude of different characters. If we go on over and jump to the Oceanic faction, you can jump in Ursula here. That's going to synergize well with everybody. Give yourself a little bit extra speed because Ursula's going to be able to slow down the battle against the opponents. You've got Stitch with great attack synergy to plug in there and be another threat that the enemy has got to focus on. So that fill spot, feel free to put whatever character works with your roster because this is going to be the core team right here. We're going to bring this team into battle, but before that, I do want to show you guys one more team. The other great Oceanic team, this team's very solid for you guys. Again, it's going to be using the same strategy and a lot of the same characters, but you're going to be bringing in the powerful trio of Lilo and Stitch where they all share some massive amount of synergy. And then you've got the big duo with Maui and Moana, which is going to allow you to have great 2 different synergies in a trio and a duo. Mix that with Oceanic synergy, and you're going to get yourself a lot of W's. So really great team here. Not the one we're going to take in. This one should be pretty viable for a lot of people that are invested into the Oceanics. And if you're looking who to farm first, definitely get these two to unlock Stitch and Cobra Bubbles. Works great in raid teams. And then go ahead, now that Moana's farmable, go and jump into her. Now, looking quickly before we get into the battle here with this last team, you can do something a little bit crazy and not a lot of people have her, but putting Raya in this spot. Raya does not fit in a lot of teams at the moment, but Raya works perfectly within this spot for a few reasons. Now, first of all, she's going to speed up your adventurer allies, which Barley and Moana both are going to be adventurous. We did talk about this primarily being an Oceanic team guide, so I don't want to really recommend this team at the moment, but you're going to be able to give 40% turn meter to them. They're going to get evades, and on her basic, she's going to call the adventurer with the highest offense, which is definitely going to be Moana, to assist, allowing you to get more basics, more damage, taking out Hercules with ease. It's a perfect combination. Now, lastly, guys, you don't have to have Barley here. A lot of different supports work well in this kind of area here. You can go for an extra tank. You could put Pocahontas here to give some great cleansing because the Oceanics lack that a little bit. Or if you want to go with someone like Esmeralda for an additional cleansing and overall great support synergy, she's good to plug in there as well. Now, speaking of Esmeralda, she is a massive counter to the Oceanic faction. She's got an 80% chance to go ahead and get rid of silences, which shuts down both Cobra Bubbles and Ursula, and kind of her whole kit forces them to use basics against each other, which they've got hard-hitting basics. She's a big counter to them, and so if you run into one, proceed with caution. All right, so just like the mythical video, Cozy Club, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take you into a live battle to show you the synergy of this team and why it's so powerful and able to really punch up really well. So we're gonna go ahead, we got our battle here against a very strong opponent. We've got all T8s. You've got 1, 2, 3 legendaries, big hero 6 speed. They should definitely win this battle. But let me show you why we're going to go ahead and take the W from them and why this team kind of works out so well. So, of course, Hercules, without a question, is going to open up with his dang counters. And now we're kind of set up. We've got the taunt on the go-go there, which Moana's passive puts a taunt out at the beginning of the battle. Like I said, we're going to be the first to get that turnout. Now, the only thing that's not great is when she calls the eels, they can take that taunt right back off, or you can target an Ursula's eels and get blinds on your team to start the battle. But glass half full, you're getting the blinds out of the way. All right, so we put the silence on Mickey Mouse, and now we're going to kind of control the rest of the team here by putting a polymorph on Baymax, kind of shutting down any possibility of a mass impact, kind of shutting down the main key components of the team. When you're playing, you want to look at who are their biggest threats, and obviously it's going to be Hercules, it's going to be Go-Go, and we've got to be mindful of that Mickey Mouse. He's going to be going for Ursula, which is great for us. We're going to slap some blinds on there, kind of slowing down his damage, and now he's pretty much done for. He didn't take care of Moana. We've got everything that we need to have. Barley's about to go ahead and get the Quest of Yore over to her for the Crashing Wave. And then it's game, set, match. So here we go. We're going to go ahead. We're going to give the ticket. You can give it to Maui here to get him that big stun. But in this case, we're going to go ahead. We're going to squeeze it between the eels and give it to Moana. And then we're going to go ahead. We're going to heal up Ursula while giving Moana harmful immunity up to make sure that Herc doesn't do anything fishy here. And now we're all set up. Let's go ahead and give the Quest of Yore over to Moana. There we go. We've got crit on her. No crit power. Now, if this was crit power, it would be game, set, match. But let's go ahead. You usually want to save these for the Maui taunt. But let's go ahead and shadow Moana because we've got double big buffs here. Let's slap the big crashing wave for the massive damage. There's your crazy damage. Mickey's going to pop off and really hurt us for a little bit. But again, with those shields, we've got great survivability. Mickey's gone. Now all he's got is Herc and Baymax. It's over. Even with all those legendaries, even with a very solid team, we've got ourselves, let's make another Moana. If you're doing this on Maui, as you guys can see previously in the video, he's going to continue to go ahead and give Moana turns. But let's go ahead. Let's we'll top off Ursula over here. Continue to cleanse Moana. We've got a slow on Hercules, which is going to be double slaps. Watch this damage here. You got 5, another 11 damage, 11,000 damage. He does have true hero. You know, he is going to go ahead and do Hercules thing here. Going to go ahead and do his one big move. He's kind of healing up, trying to brace himself for impact, seeing if he can go ahead and survive the battle. It's been too quick. He doesn't have column. He's got Baymax, and he's going to be wasting his turn. He will have the column before we can get to him. We didn't bring Mortal Potion for this battle, but with Moana, we should be pretty set here to go ahead and finish it up. So here we go. We're going to kind of just work through our Baymax here. We want to really kill Baymax before his Hercules gets a turn. Mainly because you want to ensure that we can go ahead and get that invincibility out of the way. And it's going to be pretty easy here, guys, because we're going to get a taunt with Maui, which is going to give Moana a free turn right here. And of course, we got the Baymax. We got the Baymax miss there. That always happens, but there we go. We killed him before it could happen. And we can go ahead and go the extra mile and take out the Cauldron. But you guys see here, it's a full team against one. He is going to get a guaranteed crit. He's going to get his big move off. But it's going to be a little bit too little, too late. Look at all these Moana turns. Come on, Moana. Come on, get him done. There we go. We're going to now wait for the big show here, the big move. We're probably going to lose a lot of characters, but we're going to keep our main ones, and Moana has harmful immunity, which means nothing bad is going to happen. Look, it wasn't fun, but we survived okay. We're going to heal her up again. Now, Hercules isn't going to have anything to protect himself, and it's game, set, match. we can go ahead. Let's just start slapping paddles. We are going to speed up his turn meter, and he will get another turn, but we're just slapping paddles like crazy. We've got another shadow. And now he's going to try his best. He's going to really try to take out our Moana here. But even if we've got enough on the field to take him down, he's kind of in desperation mode at the moment, trying to figure out what to do. He's going after, he can't go after Moana. He's stuck there at Maui. That's fine. He took care of Maui. He's going to be getting himself Cauldron, so he's kind of getting himself a little bit of a comeback here. But it's just not going to happen. We're going to go ahead. We're going to slap him up for 3,000 there. He is going to counter. We're having some things go wrong, but it's not enough to take down the team here. Not enough to take down the team. He got an instant turn right off the bat. I don't think he's got Column quite yet. He still has his basic, and then we'll just finish it off. So altogether, team can punch up against just about anyone really any character within the game. He knows it's game set match here. He's going to kind of take care of our shadows, and we're going to finish the job with Barley, who hasn't done much since that kind of first turn. Go to use his basic, call all of our friends here to assist with their big attacks, and that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. So this is how this team can take on anything that you see out there. Very solid team altogether, guys. Let me know down in the comments below, did you enjoy the best Oceanic team video? Do you guys want to continue to go through factions like this? Guys, love having you here. If you haven't already, press that subscribe button. It helps grow the channel massively. Get this baby to 300 likes, and we'll do another team guide. I'm thinking villains next week. My friends, have a beautiful rest of your day, and until next time, stay cozy.